Hello, my name is Kyle Harris. I'm an assistant director and career coach with the ISU Career Center. I'm here today to talk to you about career fair preparation and talk to you about the career fairs for this semester. One of the things I want to share with you from the get-go is that for those of you who have attended career fairs in the past, this semester is going to be a little bit different. For the, uh, we're putting not only our general fair online, but we're actually dividing it up into five mini industry area or career focused fairs. So you'll still be able to have conversations with many employers one-on-one. You'll be able to do group conversations and learn about companies in general, but you'll just be doing it through an online system. Later in the presentation, I will take you through the registration process and address how you will visit the companies. But first, I'm going to address the basics of career fairs and how you can prepare yourself. So one of the very first things I always want to talk about when talking about career fairs is, why do employers attend? Why do you attend? Why are you there? Why are they there? So the first thing that employers are there is the fact that they can meet top candidates. They're not coming here looking for mid-level, senior level positions. They know when they're coming here, they're trying to meet uh, people who are looking for internships or people who are graduating and looking for those first entry-level positions. So it's a great way to focus on that specific area. And so it also saves time, money and time in the fact that they can meet 50, 60, 70, 100 students or so at a career fair versus doing one interview at a time, where they may only be able to do like meet 8 people during the day. So, and then obviously there are tons and tons of employers out there that a lot of people don't know about. They don't, maybe they're business to business, maybe they're nonprofit, and so maybe they're small companies who may not be as well known. And so there may be a variety of reasons. So it's also a great way for them to get their name out, um, and have other people learn about them. So when the university or when the company is looking here, they're looking for some specific things when they're looking at students. First of all, they're looking for well-rounded and involved students. They want people who don't just go to class and go home. They are looking for people who work, whether or not that's a part-time job, a full-time job. They're looking for somebody maybe who has an internship experience in that field. They're looking for someone who uh, is a leader in student organizations. So they're looking at someone who is involved, maybe volunteers in the community and gives back to their community. They're looking at what we call a holistic student. They're looking for someone who has the ability to convey their experiences, their skills, their abilities and achievements to that recruiter, because then they also know that you'll be able to communicate both written and orally as well in that position. They're looking for someone who shows excitement and interest in that company or that opportunity. They're looking for someone who is positive and upbeat, because they're looking for somebody who has that right culture fit as well. Okay. So before the fair, some of the things we're talking about is understanding, why are you going to the fair? There's a lot of different reasons why people may go to the fair. So it could be, are you looking for a summer internship? There are a lot of people, a lot of companies who attend a fall career fair, looking for their next summer interns already. And so, are you thinking about doing that? They may be looking for summer jobs, maybe looking for full-time jobs. Are you just going to try to find more companies that may fit in with your field? And that's one of the great things about having these multiple smaller career fairs, is the fact that they're split up. They're going to be split up in like criminal justice or accounting and finance industries. They're not majors, they're industries. And so even within that industry, you may be able to still find opportunities for your career path in those different companies. And so it gives you an opportunity to kind of look at some of those different companies without necessarily getting overwhelmed at a large career fair where they're all grouped together. And this is something that I want to bring up, and I can't stress enough, that a specific major is not necessarily a direct requirement. Many companies are looking for skills and experiences, not what you studied. So remember, whether or not you have um, a degree and may have a direct career path tied to it, does not necessarily mean you have to go down that career path. And a lot of times, like I said, employers are not looking for necessarily a specific degree title. They're looking at, can you do the job? Do you want to do the job? Okay. So, and then one thing we stress a lot is, even if you have a class requirement, treat this like an opportunity for you to start networking with employers and learning more about opportunities that may be available to you. Don't tell them that you're only there just for a class requirement. Okay. So quickly, there's just some different approaches between freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. You could be a sophomore but still looking for an internship. You could be a freshman looking for an internship. I know some seniors who have to be in their last semester before they can do their internship for their major. That's great. That's fine. So these are just some of the possible opportunities that you could think about. But there could always be more. So with all of this, because of the fact that there's going to be multiple fairs, you should definitely look at what companies are attending beforehand. You'll be able to register beforehand. You'll be able to sign up for individual sessions. So it's going to be really important that you do some research ahead of time to look at what companies are attending, register for those events, do some research on them. Okay. I usually suggest a good starting number is around 8 to 10 companies. There may be more that you want to talk to. Great. There may be more that day up, but at least you've started with a process of starting with those 10. Okay. Look on Handshake. Do they have positions, either full-time jobs, part-time jobs, or internships already posted on Handshake that you can kind of look at? What are they currently in the market for? And then start doing some research about that company. So when you introduce yourself to a recruiter, you have some background already of what they're doing and why you're showing some interest in that company. It'll go so far in that first impression for you. So whether or not, what's their mission statement, what's their product that they provide, or their service that they provide, what are they in the news for? Are they a local company to your hometown? Are they multinational company, with lots of different opportunities to move around? Thinking about any of that kind of stuff can help you start and continue the conversation. One of the most important things that you should do is, one, have your Handshake profile completed prior to the fair. If you have never logged in, log in. The first time you log in, you'll have the option to go ahead and finish completing your profile. Some of the information has already been filled out for you, but you should also finish completing it as much as possible. The more information you have, the more an employer will be able to see and know about you when they meet with you. Okay. The other part of that also is going to be making sure that you have your resume reviewed, updated, and uploaded to your Handshake profile as well before the fair as well. Just some quick notes when you think about a resume is, resumes generally, we shoot for 1 page in length for those entry-level jobs. Remember that bullet points are not job duties. Bullet points should be tied more to achievements and accomplishments. They don't care necessarily what you're responsible for. They want to know what you actually achieved. So highlight quantifiable achievements, highlight demonstration of skills, leadership skills, not just saying I have leadership, but showing them how do you have that leadership. Okay. Make sure that you get your resume reviewed by the Career Center during walk-ins. For the Career Center, our walk-ins we are actually going to be offering both in-person and virtual career or options. Our walk-ins are 10 to 12 and 1 to 3 Monday through Friday. You can either stop by the Career Center with a copy of your resume, or you can call in to the front desk at 812-237-5000, and we will send you an email with a link to a Zoom room to meet one-on-one with a career coach. Okay. And then, like I said, make sure you get, after you've had this reviewed, have it reviewed more than once, have it reviewed by multiple people. Then make sure you get it uploaded to your Handshake profile. Okay. So one of the things I talk about is preparing, and with that is practicing your opening and closing. So in this fair, you're going to have the option to schedule one-on-one meetings with recruiters. And so with that, you need to have a prepared statement, or what we call an elevator pitch of some kind, to really kind of have an opening dialogue to give these recruiters some starting information um, about you, an introduction to you. Okay, and we'll go over that here in just a second about what should be included in that. Make sure that you are rehearsing answers to common questions. Tell me about yourself. Um, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Why do you like this company? What interests you? Why did you pick your major? Um, what are some of the things you know about us? Those type of general. This is all, doing these are almost like doing mini interviews. Okay. So one of the things, spend several hours prepping, and then don't think on the day of the fair, don't think that you'll be able to go in and go out in 10 minutes. Spend some time, dedicate some time to going to the fairs, multiple of them, if they fit in with your your career path, and looking at some of the different companies that may be there in some of those different fairs, and plan to, um, when you meet with them, you could have your calendar ready, because they may want to set up a follow-up interview with you later. Make sure when you are at the day of the fair, make sure you're doing things to prepare yourself for success. So it's not just about dressing professionally. Make sure you dress professionally. We do offer the clothing closet here in the Career Center. It's available 10 to 12 and 1 to 3, Monday through Friday, at the same time as our walk-ins. And I'll talk more about that here in just a little bit. But also make sure that, because this is going to be virtual, you need to make sure that your technology is set up. Make sure you have your laptop set up. Make sure your webcam is set up. Make sure you have good lighting. Make sure the lighting is not coming in behind you and darkening, and clouding your face, so they can't see your facial expressions. But also make sure it's not right in front of you as well, where it's also maybe flushing you out and they can't see your facial expressions that way. Have it a good ambient light. Make sure that you have a clean background. Whether make sure you don't have an open closet. Make sure you don't have dirty clothes or anything like that laying around. Make sure that you're taking into account, if you're going to do it in a bedroom, make sure your bed's made. Make sure you don't have inappropriate or um, non-professional or unprofessional posters on your walls. Make sure that if you're going to be doing it, make sure that your roommates or pets are not making a lot of racket. I've had people who have had their cat who's walked on their bookshelf and knocked stuff over in the middle of an interview. So make sure that you're prepping ahead of time for that experience. So when we think about dress for success, make sure that, obviously, I will always tell you, if you have a suit, suit up. Whether or not you're a male or a female, if you have a suit, if you don't, then go for females, go for a professional blouse, a blazer if you can, those type of things. Make sure that you're wearing minimal jewelry, simple makeup, not being overly flashy during this. Always err on the side of conservative during that initial interview fair type of environment. Okay. Same thing with men. Make sure that if you have a suit up, err on the side of conservative. And one of the things I tell people all the time is, don't just dress up from the waist up. Be prepared that wear your whole suit, wear your slacks, and do that, because it'll also help put you in a mindset. Don't lay down on your bed or sit on your bed during the fair or during an interview. Sit at a table, sit at a desk. Put yourself in the mindset of taking it as professional as you can, because then that will come across to them that you are there for the right reasons, that you actually do care about this opportunity. Okay. So one of the things I always tell people, make sure that you're not wearing sweatshirts, hoodies, baseball caps, anything like that. But remember, I did talk about the clothing closet. So if you don't have professional dress, then you can come to the clothing closet. It is in the Career Center. Like I said, the 10 to 12 and 1 to 3, Monday through Friday. You can actually pick up to 4 items. We are taking precautions during this year to make sure that any clothes that are tried on will be sanitized and all that before we put them back in the clothing closet. So come early and take advantage of this opportunity. So remember when I talked about practicing your open and closing? With that, I'm really talking about your elevator pitch. And so really that comes down to your personal pitch about yourself. And we call it an elevator pitch because it's basically something that you can create in just about 20 to 30 seconds that just gives a brief introduction about you and why somebody should be interested in you. And it's talking about the time that you write it in an elevator is where it was really the phrase was coined. So with that, some good markers to include with that is to include your name, your current major, maybe your professional goals. You know, are you looking for a full-time position? Are you looking for an internship? What's your goal after, you know, when do you graduate? Those type of things. Then think about you want to talk about. Why do you care about talking to them? What's your interest in that company? You know, maybe it's you've had a previous internship. Maybe it's you've been using their product for quite a few years. Thinking about some leadership opportunities you've had in student organizations. You know, try to use specific examples from previous experiences, and then if you can highlight a specific position that may be posted on Handshake or posted on their job board on their website. Okay, and then when you're done kind of telling them, you're introducing yourself and talking about why you're interested in that company, always come back with a question back to them, because then it gives them an opening to start in on a conversation with you as well, and it shows that you've done a little bit of research and that you're showing interest. Now, with all of this, because this is a conversation, you know, they may actually initiate the conversation. They may already go ahead and ask you some questions. Don't be robotic and if they ask you something, then go off on this whole other pitch and have this sound so rehearsed that it sounds robotic. It may be that these are more guideposts that you should make sure that you get in, and then be prepared to go through the whole thing, but also be prepared that they may take control of the conversation early on, and that they may just get some of this information out as the conversation happens between the two of you. Okay. So definitely, I would encourage you, if you're watching this, take a snapshot of this. This is just kind of a good guide sheet that we created to make sure that you kind of hit the 4 different guideposts of a good elevator pitch. Okay. So once again, just some tips that we often talk about. Make sure that you're not saying you're just there for class. Remember that these recruiters are going to be here next semester. They're going to be here the semester after that. So even if you're only doing this for a class requirement, don't say that. Make sure that you're networking and building the relationships appropriately, because you never know who you're going to meet in the future. And they'll remember the really great people that make an impact and they do a really good job. They also are going to remember the people that did not represent themselves or ISU well either. Okay. One of the things I always tell people is the people who usually attend fairs are going to be HR people, maybe a department manager of a specific department, those type of things, or professional recruiters. Now, with that, they may not know every department in that company or every position that's in that company. And so, if say for instance you're interviewing with an accounting firm, but you're talking to them about marketing, they may be there looking for accounting, and so they may not be able to talk to you a lot about maybe marketing opportunities for that company, but they may need a marketing person. So you may talk to them and say, is there someone else I should be talking to? Can I follow up with you in a couple of days, get their contact information, still build that positive rapport with them so they remember who you are and can help make those connections later on. Okay. I already talked about making it, treating all the conversations like a mini interview. Make sure, because this is virtual, you should have a copy of your resume with you in front of you. You should have a copy of the research that you've done. You should have all that down on a notebook. You should have questions that maybe you potentially want to ask them and have all of that ready. Okay. This is super important. Remember, this is all virtual, so you won't necessarily have the opportunity to get business cards from all the different employers that you meet. So it's going to be important that you get their contact information before you leave the one-on-one conversation. Okay, thank them for visiting Indiana State. Thank them for visiting with you, and make sure that you follow up with a thank you note or a thank you card or a thank you email within 24 hours. Okay, so when you're thinking about type of questions, I'm not going to go through all these, but think about this is just a snapshot of some different types of questions. These are not the only questions you should ask, just sample questions of maybe underclassmen when they're still kind of seeking out industries, careers, those type of things, and finding information about different companies and all that. Just some sample ones, and then just some sample ones for junior seniors that are more job specific, and so thinking about some of that as well. Okay. So now let's start talking about how to actually register for Handshake for our virtual career fairs. So for you guys will log into Handshake. Like I said, you'll find Handshake through your My ISU app, and then it'll be one of the apps or tiles on there. Click on that. If that's your first time going in, make sure that you will complete your profile. If you have not completed your profile before, go ahead and do it now. And then once you've completed your profile, you'll see over there on the left-hand side the percentage of completion. Try to get it to 100% if you can. Okay. So once you do that, up in the upper left-hand corner, you'll see the H or the two people shaking the handshake sign. You'll click on that, and it'll bring you to this screen. So once you've done that, you'll click on events. On events, it'll pull up all the different events that employers are offering and our partners are offering. And so there's going to be lots of different virtual webinar series and virtual events going on. We want to go to the fair. So the good way to knock that out is just click on fair search right here, and it'll pull up the ISU fairs. And so there's going to be different ones that are going on. Like I said, you'll notice that there's criminology and criminal justice, technology and engineering, industries, all majors, the health and social services industries. So all of these are different industries, and there's also going to be accounting and finance industry as well. You'll notice that all of these are at the same date and time. They're all going to be taking place at the same time, but that does not mean you only have to attend one, or you can only attend one. You can sign up and register for all of these. Okay, so find one of them that you're interested in. You'll click on it. It'll bring you to this page, and you'll see some information about it. It'll talk about the dates and times again. It'll give some brief information down there, and then you can favorite it, so it'll be there later, or you can hit register, and you'll want to hit register. When you hit register, you'll see this screen that'll pop up, give you brief information. Make sure that you block it off on your calendar, and then make sure then once you registered, you'll be able to actually sign up for the sessions. And these are either going to be group sessions where they'll allow up to 30 students to meet with an employer, and that's really going to be much more of an overview of their company. Or you can meet one-on-one, and this is going to be much more intentional for you to meet with a recruiter to talk about maybe an internship or full-time job, part-time job, opportunity, specific opportunities within their company, not just the company itself. Okay. Remember, with this, you want to have a working camera. Make sure you've worked out your background, and so you'll want to be able to do all of this. Okay, and do that ahead of time. You'll hit register, and then you'll see all the event. Once you've registered, you'll be able to see all the employers that are attending, and they're constantly being updated. Right now, because we're still more than a month out, we have a few employers listed for each fair, but not all fairs have a lot of employers yet. But they're going to be filling up every day, and so you'll be able to see them as they get added in real time. You'll be able to see them, and once you've registered, you'll see that, and then you'll be able to register for it. And I'll show. And so basically, you'll click on a company, and you'll see this information. You'll kind of see their brief blurb about the company, and then you'll see where they have a group session at 12 to 12:30, and it's just kind of, like I said, it's an overview of the company. Or you can sign up for a one-on-one. Okay. Now, to sign up for these sessions, it's also important that you've gone into your privacy settings, which you can find up in the upper right-hand corner. If you click on your profile or your initials up here in the right-hand corner of your handshake, you'll be able to click on that, and then there'll be a private settings and privacy setting. You'll go in there and you'll want to change it to either employers or community, or make sure it's set at one of these two. Otherwise, employers won't be able to see you, and you can't sign up for any of these. Okay, so make sure you've done that. But then you'll be able to select one of these times that fit for you. Remember, all of these times are Eastern time. So if you're in a different time zone and you're attending the fair from a distance, remember that all these times are Eastern. Okay, so the one-on-one sessions are only 10 minutes long. All right, so you'll select one of them, and then you'll be able to sign up for as many different companies and industries as you want. A few things here: you can leave sessions up until the time they're scheduled. We do want to promote professional behavior, so be aware of that. If you find a company that maybe you didn't sign up for ahead of time because they were full, you can still sign up the day of. So like group sessions, you can sign up 10 minutes prior. And then, but if a group session is full, then you won't be able to sign up. Same thing. If you find a company that has a one-on-one session available, you can sign up the day of the fair. You don't have to. You would be best to prepare ahead of time and pre-register, but you can sign up on the day of. Okay. So when you attend your one-on-one or a group session, there are 3 different ways. Obviously, there's going to be the webcam video option. They may give it just the employer will have the option to either set up it as a video session, set up as just an audio session, or set up as a text through the chat feature. So it'll be one of those 3 or a combination of the 3, depending on whether or not it's a group or one-on-one. But be prepared for the video one, and be prepared to dress professionally. Be prepared to show a lot of positivity, engagement, excitement about that. Okay. So just a few frequently asked questions that we have. Can you see your previously attended sessions? One of the great things about it is when you register for a session, all those sessions that you signed up for will be over on your right-hand side of your handshake. You can sign up the day of. Remember to get your resume reviewed or uploaded to your handshake profile, so that way employers can go out there and look at resumes if they want. Make sure that you have set your profiles to public. Like I said, that community or employers are setting in your profile. So just, be prepared. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out and talk to somebody at the Career Center. Okay. Once again, I do want to remind you that we do offer walk-ins in the Career Center Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. And like I said, they can either be in person or we are offering virtual walk-ins this semester, where you'll just call our front desk and we will email you a Zoom link to a Zoom appointment with a Career Center personnel, and you'll be able to have your 15-minute walk-in session via Zoom or in person with someone to go over your resume before the fair. Okay. After the fair, make sure that you do follow up. Make sure you send a thank you email, thank you card of some kind to each individual person that you met during the fair. Highlight your strengths, mention something you talked about. Make sure you mention how excited you are about the opportunity. Make sure why you're a good fit for them. And do that for each person that you had a good experience with. Okay. And don't wait 3-4 days to do it. Do it within that first day. Okay. So that's all we have for our Career Fair Prep. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to the Career Center. We look forward to seeing all of you. We look forward to having our employers interact with you. Make sure that we are really excited about having opportunities to have all of you get engaged in a variety of different ways with all of our different fairs this semester, and all of our different employers, and continue to work towards getting you on your right career path. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Otherwise, have a great day.